Okay, we are going through the geometry design of the highways and we have finished the vertical and the horizontal alignment. Today we will finish the topic with the cross-sectional elements. So cross-section is when you cut the road from the front, so you can see the height and the width. In the cross-section you will be able to see the lanes, the shoulder, the side slopes, okay, these are called the side slopes, the curves, the blocks, the yellow blocks which you see, for the median and the sidewalk, the median barriers, the guardrails, the drainage channels, okay. And for the purpose of design and for the purpose of construction, we show the cross section after every station. A station means 100 feet or 100 meters, okay. Except if there is a change in the cross section, then you have to show it. Okay, if there is a change after 50 meters in the road itself, you have to draw the cross section. Okay, you will not wait for the next station. So a travel lane is the part of the road where the vehicle is supposed to move, right? So this is for the normal operation of the road. The standard width of the travel lane is 9 feet, but it can be as low as, the standard width is 12 feet. The standard width is 12 feet and it can be as low as 9 feet. Less than 9 feet is not practical because a car itself is almost 8 feet or maybe 8.5 feet. So less than 9 feet, it's not possible for a car to. In Bahrain it is not. In Bahrain our minimum is 12. It goes sometimes 13 as well or 13 point something. Okay. We may design for more than 12 feet even in the normal cases when we are on the curve. Okay. So on the curve, we may have more width because of the trucks mainly. Okay, the trucks cannot move along the lane, so they need more width. Another factor along the curve is the car drivers themselves. Sometimes they are at high speed, so in order to control themselves, you may have seen that they go left or right. Okay, just for controlling the vehicle. Okay, so the point is we need to have more width on the curves for having better control for the car drivers and also allowing the truck drivers to make the curve, go around the curve. Reducing lane width has a negative effect on speed and capacity. Okay, and this is why we have used it in the free flow speed calculations in the level of service chapter. Okay, so reduce the lane width, it will affect the speed negatively. Okay, so when you decide to give less width of the travel lane, we do it on residential roads, local streets, where the traffic is normally low and the speed is also low. The travel lanes must have a cross slope. Okay, the main purpose of the cross slope is to provide drainage. So the road is never completely level; it always has a cross slope for drainage. Another reason for the cross slope of the road is to provide super elevation, and super elevation is provided on the curves. We already discussed it and we have used it in the equations as well. The cross slope on the road can start from 1.5, it can go up to 2% for highways, and it can go up to 6% for low type of pavements. Okay, because low type of pavements, we need better drainage, we need faster drainage. Okay, because the quality is not good. If the water goes in, it will damage very fast. Okay, and a second thing is on low type pavement means it's a low type of road, so speed is also very low. Okay, so this can work there. Okay. This is how we normally give the cross slope. You can see it's going in both directions. Okay, so that means the drainage will happen in both directions. This type of drainage is faster. This type of drainage happening in both directions is faster, but it means you need drainage channels in both directions as well. Okay, if the water is going in both directions, I need to provide a drainage channel in both directions as well. Okay, but as we have already seen, the super elevation is not like this, right? Super elevation is like this only, one side. So where should be the drainage channel? One side. Okay, so whenever you are designing the cross slope, you have to make sure where the water is going, you have the channel ready to collect the water. Okay. Okay. Another thing, if you are giving superelevation is because of the speed of the road. So normally it is higher than these values, 2%, 3%. It is much higher than that. Okay. So once you give superelevation, you don't need to worry about drainage. It's already enough for the drainage. Okay. Then we come to shoulder. Shoulder is a contiguous part of the road. Contiguous means it is parallel to the road, right? It is connected with the road. What is the purpose of the shoulder? To provide a stopping area for the vehicles, to provide emergency lane, and it also provides support to the road surface, because shoulder is a compacted and leveled surface, right? Okay. In many cases, it has the same surface as the road. So it is prepared with the same material of the road. So it provides support to the road surface itself. If you just keep it loose, okay, loose sand or loose ground, then there is no support because it's not compacted. Okay. So we compact the shoulder, we level it, and we may pave it as well. And by the way, all travel lanes are paved. Okay, all travel lanes are paved. But shoulders, both options are possible. It may have asphalt surface, it may have grass, it may have stones. All of them are possible. But in all cases, it must be compacted and leveled. Okay. Shoulder width can go from 2 to 12 feet. Okay. Higher width for highways, so that the stopped vehicle can go completely on the side. Okay. Because for the stop and the emergency vehicles, right? So if you are on a highway, your vehicle stops and the shoulder is only 4 feet and the car is 8 feet. So half of the car will be on the shoulder, half will be on the road. On high speed, it's dangerous. Okay. On local streets, you may have seen there is no shoulder, there is no parking area. People park on the street and they just go in the cold store. Okay. Because the speed is very low, the traffic is very low, people come and they just move like this. Okay. But on a highway, you will not do this. What about? So on highways, we need full shoulders. On highways, we need full shoulders, so the vehicle can go completely on the shoulder itself. Otherwise, it will be dangerous. Okay. What are the functions of the shoulder? The first one we already mentioned, to provide area for the stopping. Stalled means stopping. Stalled means stopped. It also provides a buffer for the accident recovery. So, for example, a car hit you from the side. Now you lose control, right? Okay. And you need some time to get your car straight or to brake. Okay. So, in that time you can go on the shoulder. No problem. Okay. Sometimes the tire burst. Okay. The tire is punctured or it's burst. Again, you may lose control, you need some time to get that car straight and brake. Okay, you can spend this time on the shoulder. Go on the shoulder and you can do whatever you want. Okay, so this is what we mean by accident recovery. You have lost control of your car for a few seconds for any reason. Because of an impact, because of the car problem, because of anything. So on the shoulder, you go and try to get the control of the car back. Keep it straight and brake and stop, whatever. Okay. If you try to do it on the road, somebody else may hit you. Okay, or you may hit somebody else. Okay, so a shoulder can provide accident recovery. Shoulder, when you have shoulder, you see open space on your side. Shoulder is open space, right? Nothing on the shoulder. So more clear space on the side, driver feels more comfortable. Okay, you may have seen, if you are driving on a road, when there was no construction. Now you come on the same road, they started doing something on the side of the road. So when they start the construction, they put barriers, right? Now because of the barrier, it's the same road. No change on the road. It's the same road. But now, this space on the side, not on the road, on the side, was empty. On that empty space, they put a barrier. You can feel that your mentality has changed, your mind has changed. When the space was open, you were driving more freely. By just putting the barrier, it controls your mind. Okay, it restricts your mind. Alright? So a shoulder provides more ease and comfort to the driver. Okay, because it provides more open space. we have talked last time about horizontal curve, side distance of horizontal curve. Okay, so on horizontal curve, if you have an object on the side, it can block your line of sight. So I'm going like this, and there's an object here, so it will block my line of sight, right? But if this is shoulder, then this space will be open. So I will have more side distance because of the shoulder. Okay, and because of these things, shoulder also improves capacity. Driver feels more comfortable, he goes faster, speed is higher, capacity is more. Okay. It can provide space for maintenance. You are doing some maintenance work on the road, you need space to put your material, your equipment, you are an excavator, okay, or you have some bags of cement or something, okay, or asphalt drums. Where do you put? You can put on the shoulder. Okay. You don't need to have a storage area. In some countries, they have snowfall. Okay. So you have seen these cleaners, right? They are walking along the road and they see something, they pick it. In those countries, they have these type of cleaners, but what they do, there's snow on the road, they put it on the, obviously they cannot carry it, right? So they put it on the side. Maybe after 3, 4, 6 hours, a vehicle will come, they will take the snow on. So for these 3, 4, 6 hours, the snow will be on the shoulder. You can store it on the shoulder. Yeah. So on the roadside, you have some objects. You have pedestrian walkways, you have light poles, you have signal poles, you have road signs. Okay. So they will be there after the shoulder or on the shoulder. Where do you put the traffic sign? On the shoulder or after the shoulder? After the shoulder, right? So shoulder provides you clearance from these signs, from these objects. If there was no shoulder, the signs will be on right beside the road, and there's a risk that you will go and hit them. Okay. So this is one, and then shoulder provides better drainage. It makes the drainage faster because it is a level surface. So water goes quickly from the shoulder. Okay. And it's also, as I mentioned earlier, because of its compaction and level, it provides support to the road surface. Okay. The recommended slope for the shoulder, you can see they are much higher than the travel lane. Okay, because on the travel lane you have to worry about the vehicle speed and everything. Here, shoulder is not for vehicles to move, right? It's for the stop vehicle, emergency vehicle. So you can provide more slope. Okay, and you can see different surfaces of the shoulder. This is not allowed in travel lanes. Okay. Then we have side slopes or embankments. What are side slopes or embankments? You can see them here. This is called a side slope. Okay. So if you have a road and beside the road the ground is empty, there is nothing. Okay. So no building, no sidewalk, nothing. Okay, so you cannot, so this is your surface, this is, this is your road, okay, and there is nothing here. Okay, so if you just fill it up to here and leave it like this, the load will come. And because of the load, it will fall. Okay, so we need to make a side slope. Okay, so side slope will hold this. Okay, it will make sure that this thing is in place. Got my point? Okay, so if it is for the road, we call it side slope. If it is for the bridge, we call it embankment because it's much higher. So when the side slope becomes very high, we call it embankment. What happened? Okay, so you can see the bridge is very high. Right? Bridge is 5-6 meters high. The road is maybe 1 meter, less than 1 meter. Okay, so if it is at a low level, side slope. High level, embankment. Got it? But that's a purpose to provide support. Okay, same purpose to provide support, structural support. Now, it's not for the vehicles are not moving on the side slope, right? So we can make them very steep. So you can see the recommended values for the side slope. Now for the shoulder, for the pavement, we are talking about 2%, 3%. You remember superelevation, 6%, 4%. Here 3:1 means more than 30%. You can see the difference. 4, 5, 6% and 30%. Okay, why? Because this is not for the vehicles. That one is for the vehicles. So different recommended values based upon situations. Okay, so you are doing something and you want to put your equipment on the side slope. Okay, so you will make it, you can go up to 3:1. Okay, if you have if you want to use the side slope for accident recovery. Okay, so what, again the same thing which I mentioned for the shoulder. You are hit by something, because of this impact you go on the side slope. So if you allow it, if you allow the vehicle which has been hit to go on the side slope, you have to make sure the vehicle is safe on the side slope, because sometimes it can happen. Okay, a car hit me, minor scratch, but I lost control, so I went on the side slope. But side slope was like this. You can imagine what will happen to you. Okay, it will flip. So we cannot make it like this. If you are allowing the vehicle to go on the side slope, you have to make it more level. Okay, so that's why you can see this one is higher, this one is lower, to avoid flipping of the vehicles when they are going on the side slope. Okay, then if you are using you are doing any plantation, grass and vegetation on the sides of the road, they do it for beauty, right? For greenery and so on. So if you are doing something like this, then you have to put water. You are putting water, then you need more drainage. Okay, so then you put a higher side slope, because now I'm watering itself. I'm putting water myself to grow the grass and the trees. Okay, so it will be a lot of water. You have to make the side slope more, so the water will either go down or down. Okay, and fast. In all these things, my first consideration is type of soil. Okay, these values will only apply if I have strong soil. If the soil is very fine, very weak, okay, so it will start, you know, when you take weak soil, very fine soil in your hand, what happens? You press it and it starts coming out from the side, right? You must have seen it on the beaches. Take the sand from the beach and try to push it. It will start coming from the side. It is not stable. Okay, so if you are making side slope out of those type of soils, it is not stable. It is very fine. It will keep on going off. Okay, so you have to make the side slope very, very level. Okay, 6:1. This is very close to the cross slope of the road. Okay, but in all cases you have to look at the soil. Okay, these values will come after. First look at the soil, at what slope the soil will remain stable. This is my first concern. Okay, you select a value from here. Okay, I am selecting a value because I want accident recovery and blah blah blah, but your soil is weak. Your design is not good. The design should be according to the soil. Then you look at these things. What am I? These are extra things. The first thing is what? The soil. Some recommended values, these are maximum values. Okay, and they depend upon the height, the terrain, and the height of the road. Okay, and the height of the road you can see cut or fill. You must have heard these things in surveying and height, right? Cut means what? What is higher? Ground or the road? Ground is higher, right? That's why you cut. Okay, and fill means other way around. Okay, so you can see when the terrain is steep, the slope is also steep. This is for following the terrain. It becomes easier for construction. Okay, so steep terrain, steep slope, steep design for ease in construction. Secondly, you can see when the height increases, the slope again is steep to save space. Okay, now imagine I have this much slope. How much distance I need? This. Now if I decrease the slope, distance increases, right? So if I have more height, if my height is this much, and I want to decrease this distance, I will increase my slope. So I need less distance now. Got my point? Okay. So this is why more height, more slope. So I need less distance. Okay. Because you cannot have more distance on the side. Okay. Then the last one is guardrail. You call it barrier, right? Barrier, guardrail. The guardrail and the barrier can be on the side of the road, or it can be on the median. The main purpose is to avoid vehicle going on the other side. Okay. The main purpose of the guardrail, wherever you are putting it, on the side, on the median, you don't want the vehicle to cross this. You put it at a point where you want to stop the vehicle from crossing. Okay. So, for example, if you have a very steep side slope, then you said what? Car goes here, it will flip. So, to avoid car going over there, I will put what? A guardrail. Okay. So, the car will stop at the guardrail. What am I? Similarly, median. Now, if your median is very big, there are no trees, there are no poles, nothing, no sign on the median, no guardrail, no problem. Even the car goes on the median, safe. But if your median is this much, okay, you cannot allow the car to go on the median. It will be half here, right? Okay, dangerous. So you put a guardrail here. Or your median is big, but there are trees on the median. So the car may go on the median and hit the trees, right? Okay. So that in that case, we should provide a guardrail on the median. Okay. So wherever we see there is something dangerous for the car or for the object, if the car crosses, put a guardrail. But okay, the one case where you don't put a guardrail on the median is very wide. How much wide? They are saying 20 feet. Okay, more than 6 meters. Median is more than 6 meters. You don't have anything on the median. It's clear. No guardrail is allowed. Okay. In that case, median can be used as a shoulder. You have emergency. You don't have to give a shoulder because the median is clear. You can use the median as a shoulder. What about it? For accident recovery, for emergency and so on. Got it? Okay. Yeah, what is the main purpose of the guardrail? The main function of the guardrail, when the car hits it, it should take the impact, okay, and should divert the car towards the road. Okay, it should, when the car hits it, it should be able to take the impact and divert the car towards the road. This is the main function of the guardrail. Guardrail can be.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is better for the guardrail? Concrete or steel?
I'm coming to it. Guardrail is of different types. Most of the times we use steel. Most of the times we use steel because it's stronger, it's flexible, okay, so it causes less damage to the car. Okay, most of the time the steel is better. Okay, I just had an experience like in 1 month. I had a scratch with the concrete column, and now I had a scratch with the steel pipe. You can see it on both sides of my car. This one you cannot even see it. It's just a scratch. This one you can see the big mark because it's concrete. Okay. So this is how I test these things.
Also, the accident coming in the steel will take the accident.
Yes.
In the concrete, it hit the road, then I will go to the steel.
Yeah. Okay. So we have steel, and you have taken steel structures, right? The steel have different shapes, W shape, C shape, and so on. In road guardrails, we use W shape, we use box type, and we use boxed out W. So 3 shapes are used. If you go on Sheikh Salman Highway, Rifa Clock Tower, you will see these two on both sides of the road. Okay, one side is W, the other side is box. Okay.
The highway is dark. And the highway is dark.
Highway, yeah, this side.
Now it's double, I think.
W. Okay, then we have the concrete, then we have the wood. Okay, their selection depends upon whether you want to stop the vehicle immediately or you want to allow the vehicle to go forward. If you want to stop the vehicle immediately from crossing, you will use,
The medians.
okay, you will use this one wherever you want. We usually do it on the bridges. Because bridges, there's nothing to cross. You cross to heavens, right? You go ahead. So we want the car to stop there, okay? So then we use concrete, okay? So hard materials to be used where you want to stop the car immediately, okay? And steel, flexible, so the car may not stop immediately, it may continue, okay? So they are used on normal roads, normal highways, okay? On ground highways, and we use it for the ramps as well, okay? So this is I already explained. Okay, another important part about guardrails is their end. Okay, so if you have a steel guardrail and the end is like this, and you come and hit this end, you can imagine what will happen to your car. Okay, we had some accidents, at least I have. In the company where I was working after graduation, they had an accident like this. Not with the guardrail. There was a truck going with the steel bars. Okay, and the driver was behind them. Okay, and the steel, and he go and hit the truck. So the steel bars. Yeah. So you can imagine the same thing will happen with the guardrail. Okay, it will come directly inside. Okay, it will damage it. It will penetrate inside. Okay, so you have to close the end of the guardrail. Okay, there are different ways to close it. One of the ways, they put a flat surface, a cover. So it's like a steel plate. Okay, so you will not hit the end, you will hit a flat surface. Less damage. Another way to do it is, they bury the guardrail in the ground. So it's not like this, it is going like this. Okay, again, something very common in Bahrain. Another thing common is, before the guardrails, they put these things. Okay, yeah, plastic pipes. You call them delineators. Okay, so you will, if you are coming and you are not paying attention, so you will start hitting the pipes. Okay, so hopefully you will not keep on having fun, you will move away. Okay, and another thing, again, this is from the movies, if you are seeing. Right? They keep on coming and hitting these and going forward. Okay, like they are fun. Something again from the movies. These are like, so this is the guardrail. So to protect the guardrail, they put these drums. In the drums, they put water. So you may have seen in the movies, the car hits the drum and the water is going everywhere. Okay, and they are just going. Okay, nothing happens. Okay, but anyways. So in the drums, you can put any soft material. Liquid, okay, like water or maybe sand, soft sand. Okay, so it will have the same effect. But the point is, the guardrail, end of the guardrail must be protected. You cannot keep it like this open because it will cause a lot of damage to the car. Another thing is, I mentioned, so you can see it here, maybe, yeah. Now you see this one, this is a concrete barrier because it's a bridge. On the bridge we use concrete barrier, okay? Now this is a ramp. So here they are using steel. So this is concrete guardrail, this is steel guardrail. In between them there should be a close connection. There should not be any open space. So wherever you are changing the type of guardrail, you have to make sure it is connected. Okay? So this guardrail should be completely connected with the concrete. Okay? If you leave open space, there could be a problem. Okay? And it's a weak spot. Okay, the car hits it, it may go off. Okay, so we don't want any weak spots here. And then these are the examples for these chapters, for this chapter. And as I mentioned, this is from the highway books. So you may find more examples in the highway book, and you may have solved them as well. Okay, this one and the last topic, both of them from the highway books. You have done more examples there. Okay, any questions? There? Okay, so we have finished everything now. You have